So today I have the pleasure of having Bryan Clayton of Your GreenPal. How you doing, Bryan?
Hey, great to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, thank you for joining us, and we'll jump right into it because I know that's how we both are. Please just tell us about who you are, your journey, and what Your GreenPal is.
Yeah, so in one sentence, GreenPal is like the Uber for lawn mowing. So let's say you have a lawn and it's like 4 feet tall. Rather than like calling all over Craigslist or Facebook, you can just hire somebody right on our app. They'll come and mow, and if they do a good job, you can just book them for the rest of the year. And though it just happens like magic in the background. So it's like push a button, get the grass cut. Been at this 8 years. We have several 100,000 homeowners that use the app to get their grass cut, doing $20 million a year in annual revenue, and we're an 8 year overnight success. First several years of growing this business were really hard, but we just stuck it out, and we finally have a little something that's working. Before that, I had a lawn mowing business actually.
Okay.
I started cutting grass in high school as a way to make extra cash, and just stuck with my little lawn mowing business all through high school and all through college. And over a 15-year period of time, I built that to over 150 employees, over
Wow.
$8 million a year in revenue. And in 2013, sold that business, and then took everything I learned about the landscaping business and applied it to kind of the digital space to
Mhm.
build GreenPal.
Okay, perfect. And so you obviously mentioned how it helps your customers to not have to shop all around. How does it help your employees rather for them too to try to find a bunch of different clients? How does that work for them and benefit them?
Yeah, so it's like a true multi-sided marketplace. Like there's
Mm-hmm.
homeowners that need to get this service done, and so we've built the product for them to get that done. But on the other side of the transaction, we've built an entire tool set for lawn care services that are independent business owners that want to grow their business on top of our technology. And so we've built out an entire tool set for them for quoting new jobs, to routing, maximizing the efficiency of their route, to getting paid for the work that they do in a timely manner. And so we kind of have to almost have two customers and build two different types of products
Right.
that meet in the middle. That make it easier for homeowners to get the service done, and also make it 10 times easier for lawn mowing services to operate their business. And so that's really why we do what we do. We
Yeah.
really want to give any person that wants to work hard access to the American dream in terms
Hmm.
of building their own business on top of our technology. And we have a Facebook group where we have thousands of these people that use our platform, and we just kind of celebrate a lot of these wins. Every day somebody's like, oh, I was able to buy a new truck because of the business I got through GreenPal, or my home was in foreclosure and I was able to pull it out of foreclosure because of the business I got through GreenPal. So that's really our purpose. That's really why we get out of bed in the morning.
I love it. And that was an exact question. I feel like not only because the way you set it up, you're really giving these people business skills as well. And like you said, how to really be successful, not only for your company, but for their personal lives as well.
Absolutely. I mean, that the to make a living in the lawn mowing business is really hard. You
Hmm.
have to get up before dawn every day,
Yeah.
sharpen lawn mowing blades. Like you have to like get out there and work in the hot sun. And then when
Hmm.
you get done after 10 or 12 hours of cutting grass, then you have to do like bookkeeping, mail out invoices.
Right.
People are paying you late. If you have employees, you got to pay them. There's taxes galore. And so we just kind of try to focus on one of those pain points at a time and build software to make it easier, to where when they get home, they can spend time with their family. They don't have to do a bunch of
Hmm.
invoicing, because through GreenPal, they're paid in 24 hours from their clients for
Okay.
all the work they do. So really materially improving these people's lives, helping them make material income, and just really giving them like a business in a box almost.
Hmm.
You plug in the GreenPal, you have, let's say you have like 3 customers. At the end of the first year, now you'll have 100, and you'll be making like 6 figures in annual
Wow.
revenue take home. Like
That's huge.
that's why we work like 80-hour weeks on the
Hmm.
software and on the platform, because we know that we're helping these people be successful, and if they're successful, then GreenPal's successful.
And everyone's happy and it works out.
Yes, it's a win-win-win.
Absolutely. So you talked about how it's been 8 years, like you said, 8 year overnight success. So 8 year
Yeah.
success. So I'm curious, what were maybe like a couple of things that you adjusted and evolved that really finally, kickstarted it and really started to see that great revenue? A couple of things that you made changes to.
Yeah, one thing that looking back in the last 8 years, we were slow to do was to delegate.
Mm.
My two co-founders and I just worked and hacked on this thing for like 4 years, just ourselves. and it was a very long time before we started building out a team around us. And so now GreenPal is 23 people, engineers, designers, content creators, data analysis,
Right.
conversion rate optimization people. It's like it's a lot of different skill sets brought under one roof to make this thing happen. But like in the early days, it was just my two co-founders and I just like banging away 7 days a week. So a
Hmm.
mistake we made was we did that for too long.
Okay.
We didn't delegate soon enough. But the problem is when we started the GreenPal, we didn't know the first thing on how to write software. We didn't know the first thing on how to
Hmm.
distribute software. So we paid a development shop in Nashville where we live, something like $150,000 to build the first version of GreenPal.
Wow.
We launched that and it was a total flop, total failure. And we were confronted with the reality of, wow, if we're going to be in the technology business, we're going to have to learn how to write software. We're going to have to learn
Hmm.
how to design software. And so it was a very long period of time, like 3 or 4 years of us learning how to do this stuff,
Hmm.
doing the stuff. And we were scared to delegate because we delegated too quickly. Like right out the gate, we thought we could just like outsource everything.
Right.
And then like that cost us 2 years and over $100,000. And
Hmm.
so they were like, I guess the bill, like the consequence of that was we spent too long working in the project and not delegating. So that's one thing that I really learned along the way, where, it's taken us 8 years to get to profitability and 8 figures in revenue and several 100,000 users. And
Hmm.
I could probably, if I had to do it all again, I could do it in 2 years now with
Right.
everything that I know. And so it's like experience is the best teacher, and you never really know. You just kind of have to go through it. But that's something that I learned.
Okay, and I'm hopefully any of our listeners too, maybe they can avoid some of those mistakes. So I appreciate that advice and being upfront about that. That it wasn't all gravy at the beginning.
No, man, it was a slog. It was very much a leap of faith.
Absolutely. And so, like you said beforehand, you're kind of doing everything. Now, probably you've delegated some things. What is your favorite part of it for you to do that you love in this whole company and your business?
So, as the business owner, the
Hmm.
founder, the CEO, whatever like you title you want to give yourself, as you delegate and you build a team around you, then you
Hmm.
really need to do things that only the CEO can do.
Right.
So things like setting the strategy, like
Hmm.
really looking at the competitive landscape and saying, this is where we're going to take this company the next like 2, 3, 5 years. And like,
Hmm.
this is how we're going to lay out the product roadmap to fulfill that strategy. That's really something only the CEO can do
Right.
as the visionary, as the leader of the company. Culture is something that only the CEO can do. Like really keeping your finger on the pulse of the culture. It's like, what are like the galvanizing values that all of our team members have that kind of galvanize us together? What do we all believe in, and why do we believe in it? And like that's something the CEO has to be a steward
Hmm.
of. That's something the CEO has to set the tone for. And so like really looking at what are the things that only you as a CEO can do, and like the really high leverage things that are kind of like a fulcrum, do those, and then really try to delegate the other stuff to people that are better at it and that can focus
Right.
on it and do a better job at it, and you focus on the high leverage stuff.
That's perfect. And I'm curious because I know now I'm kind of familiar with your personality. You go for it and you have, that drive and everything. What is the culture that you've set for your business?
Yeah, for us, it's a meritocracy. It's you come in, you get stuff done,
Hmm.
like your work speaks for itself.
Right.
It's no BS. We have a weekly hands-on like stand-up meeting. Now it's over Zoom, but and like you have to talk about what you got done the previous week, and you have to lay out what you're going to do this week. And it's like the analogy I like to draw is I read an interview one time about a guy that was just like leaving college football and going to the NFL.
Hmm.
And one of the things he noticed was when you're doing like suicide sprints in college football, there's a coach there to make sure that you're touching the line each time. And
Right.
like the coach will get on your butt if you're not touching the line. In the NFL, there is no coach.
Hmm.
Everybody just touches the line.
Right.
And it's because you're in the NFL. It's like you touch the line. Like
No one's holding
it's
your
not
hand anymore.
negotiable.
Right.
I mean, you understand that when you get there. And so
Hmm.
like in a very like humble, like small way, that's the kind of culture we have. You touch the line,
Hmm.
nobody's gonna like get on your ass for touching the line. But if you don't touch the line, you're not gonna make it here. And so
Right.
that's kind of personifies our culture.
Yeah, and so I'm assuming too at the beginning, also when it's like hiring anyone joining you, they feel that like, okay, I have to be on it. Is there any chance, any time where people kind of come in and they realize it's not the culture for them and get out?
Absolutely, absolutely, and we set it up that way to where we kind of date.
Hmm.
We date
Right.
before we get married here, and because if we're only 23 people. The first 5 people, if you get that wrong, that's a bet the company set of decisions. If you
Mm-hmm.
really like hire the wrong 5 or 10 people out the gate, and then you hold on to them and they stick around too long, like that'll sink your company. And so
Right.
for us, like we go through like a 1 month, 3 month, 6 month kind of trial process of, is this working out for you as the teammate? Is it working out for the company? Is everybody winning? And really giving them the opportunity. It's like, okay, we will help you find another job.
Mm-hmm.
We will help you find a better place if you don't want to be here. And let's take a month and do it. We really want anybody that doesn't believe in the mission, who isn't willing to touch the line, to find another place that's a better fit for them.
Right. And not waste anyone's time, both sides.
Exactly. Hire fast and fire faster.
I've
That's
never
our
heard that
motto.
one, but I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. Very fitting. And so also I read that you have your website. So what can our listeners expect if they go to your website? What will they see there?
Yeah. So let's say you have a yard, you own a home, you rent a house, and your
Mm-hmm.
grass is like 4 feet tall. You just go to GreenPal, pop your address in, pop your email address in. You'll get quotes back from lawn care services nearby you. You'll get 5 quotes in less than a minute or two. You can
Nice.
then read reviews about these lawn care services, things that other people that have hired them on GreenPal had to say about the quality of their work. You can look at statistics about how often they show up on time, how often their customers book them for a second lawn mowing. And this can kind of give you the best, like, rich data, so you can make the best decision on, this is who I want to cut my grass at the price that I'm comfortable paying. So it's, quite frankly, it's the easiest way in the world
Mm-hmm.
to find the best fit lawn care service to come take care of this one chore for that you're going to need to get done. And then you just set it up and it just happens like clockwork in the background. They come every week or every 2 weeks or
Mm-hmm.
every 10 days, whatever you set it up for. You get a photo of the lawn every time they complete the work. And then your card on file is just billed, and you can, like, do other things. You don't have to worry about cutting your own grass or like calling the guy or like haggling over, no, you overcharged me for 4 cuts, you only came 3,
Mm-hmm.
or you didn't mail me a bill last month, or they just don't show up. Like, oh, like, there's a weird thing of the case of the disappearing lawn guy that
Mm-hmm.
happens in our industry. Like, these people just kind of come and go, and we kind of help solve that problem by surfacing the reliable service providers and
Mm-hmm.
demoting and expelling the ones that are kind of flaky.
Okay, I definitely see where like the software had to be worked on for a long time to
Long
accomplish
time.
this.
Long time.
I am definitely seeing it. And the website is yourgreenpal.com.
Yourgreenpal.com, or you can just download GreenPal in the App Store or Play Store.
Wonderful. So we talked about how now it's been 8 years. You're successful. It's great. It's going great. What do you see for your Green Pal in the next few years?
We've come a long way.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the first year, we had 20 customers. Half of them were my friends and family. So, and I remember the day that I knew that GreenPal was going to work was probably year 3.
Mm-hmm.
My 2 co-founders and I were working on a Saturday, and I want to say like 30 people signed up to get their grass cut that day, and I didn't know any of them. And
Mm.
so it's like that little thing is like, okay, 30 people are using this website and I don't know any of them. And so, wow. And so, like, that was it's a very humble beginning. Now we have hundreds of thousands of people, thousands of transactions occurring every day. But it's still just day one. Like, we have
Right.
so much further to go.
Mm-hmm.
Until like GreenPal is in the lexicon of the English language, like, I'm going to Uber to the airport, or I don't feel like grocery shopping, just get an Instacart. GreenPal has to
Mm-hmm.
be in that mind share. And so we have a long way to go. We have a lot of places to go, a lot of people to serve that don't yet know about us.
Okay. It sounds like a really bright future. I can tell you're ready for it. So I really appreciate Bryan Clayton. I really look forward to your future and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me on. I enjoyed it.